Noam Chomsky in this upcoming video advocates for a negotiated settlement to the Ukrainian-Russian war. Here are some of his key points on his view. Chomsky emphasizes the importance of diplomacy to prevent further escalation and potential nuclear war. Chomsky views continued fighting as a proxy war fueled by the US and NATO, leading to unnecessary suffering. Now, off to this wonderful clip of Noam Chomsky, and following some remaining key points.
Okay, we are recording them.
The invasion of Ukraine grinds on, mounting slaughter and destruction. There is general agreement that it is reaching a pivotal phase. Ukrainians are the primary victims, but they're not alone. Throughout the world, many are suffering severely from cut-off of food and fertilizers. The whole world is a victim, maybe a terminal victim, of the reversal of the much too limited efforts to address the climate emergency in the brief time in which it will still be possible to do so. It is, furthermore, all too easy to outline plausible scenarios that would lead up the escalation ladder to major international war, could easily turn into terminal nuclear war. Ukraine, of course, will make its own decisions as to how to deal with the critical moments that lie ahead. The rest of us, however, are not just passive observers. Surely not those directly participating in the war, but also the rest of the world, considering what is at stake. Elementary rationality and morality dictate that we take a careful and sober look at the options and prospects that lie ahead. The war will either end with a diplomatic settlement or it will not. At least that much is uncontroversial. Lacking a diplomatic settlement, either one side will capitulate or the war will continue with mounting horrors. That too is hardly controversial. Taking a closer look, it is highly unlikely that Russia will capitulate. If it faces defeat, it can always escalate the conflict without limit. It has yet to approach what is possible with conventional weapons, as many around the world know all too well. Those who talk bravely about total victory for Ukraine are taking a ghastly gamble with Ukrainian lives. They are gambling that if the mad dog they portray faces defeat, he will silently pack his bags and slink away to oblivion or worse. The remaining alternatives to diplomatic settlement are Ukrainian capitulation or continuing war, each too awful to contemplate. It is for such reasons that international opinion overwhelmingly is calling for moves towards peace and diplomatic settlement. Overwhelmingly, but not entirely, the official US stand remains that the war should continue to severely weaken Russia. This is backed by the claim that if the war continues, Ukraine will be in a better negotiating position or a worse negotiating position, a possibility not considered. Certainly a weaker position, if only because of the continued slaughter and destruction. Are moves towards a diplomatic settlement possible? There's only one way to find out. Try. China's recent initiative is a serious starting point, founded on the principle, I'll quote, principle of sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of all countries, including Ukraine, as high Chinese officials confirmed. In the United States, China's proposal was quickly dismissed, if not condemned, along with significant initiatives by Brazil, the Vatican, and others. Most of the world does not dismiss those options. Quite the contrary. Most want a quick end to the horrors and are refusing to line up with Washington, much to its discomfiture. They are also less than impressed with the declarations of high principles, thanks to ample experience. That seems to me where we now stand in rough outline. Again, Ukraine will make its own decisions as it has a right to do. The rest are not passive onlookers, surely not those directly participating in the conflict. The stakes are very high. What is needed is sober thought, careful planning, not heroic pronouncements, ghastly gambles, grand posturing. Thank you.
Thank you, Noam. I trust this will work, that the recording is there, and I wish you good health and enjoyable engagements, missed it all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Chomsky believes both sides should be willing to compromise to find a mutually agreeable solution. Chomsky also criticizes the U.S. stance of arming Ukraine without pushing for negotiations. It's important to note that Chomsky's views are controversial. Some criticize his stance as naive in the face of Russian aggression. Though, John Mearsheimer of University of Chicago also agrees with Chomsky. George Kennan, an architect of the Cold War and professor at Princeton, warned about this very situation. I know, it is hard to square this possibility with the rhetoric coming from Putin and Russian news outlets, but I believe we have to consider this in the whole scheme of things. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Well, I hope you liked the video and give the channel a subscribe. If you wish, you can join the channel as a member, it would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you would check out my other channel, Progressive Movement, link is on the homepage and in the comments section. The channel is about progressive politicians and their policies. Thank you. Now, take care and bye-bye.